Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to week 10, guys, of the And I Quote Self-Development Training Book Review with the Transformation Leader, Crystal Metellus. Today, we will be tapping into Devotion Day 18 and Day 19. If you have your books with you, please pull them out, guys. We are going to jump right in. Also, make sure that you grab something that you can write with. That way, you always will have something to reflect back on regarding today's discussion. So, like I said, we're going to dive right in, right? So, take a look at Devotion Day 18 with me so we can read that quote together. I got mine ready to go. All right, Devotion Day 18. Devotion Day 18 quote reads, "Protect yourself against the odds, and that is how you will get even." Protect yourself against the odds, and that is how you will get even. The meaning behind this particular quote is to promote, right, the action of being proactive as opposed to being reactive. I found that a preventative measure is always better than a responsive treatment. Did y'all get that? Like, really, guys, a preventative measure, it will always be a responsive treatment. Let's try to stop it from happening before having to do something about once it does happen. What is it that I can do today that can equip me for tomorrow? How can I actively train myself today for the battles that may come later? And our responses and our answers to these type of questions is what will prepare us for what is to come, right? What lies ahead? What's down the road? Now, it's important to understand here that getting even in the part about getting even in the quote, right? That doesn't mean to get revenge, or it doesn't mean for you to retaliate against anyone, but more so about evening the playing field, right? To better the chances or the probability for victory in that area. Because a lot of times we enter into these different battles in life and it's not an even playing field. You normally have some type of disadvantage, right? Or you're normally not as prepared as the next person, or not as equipped as the person that is, challenging you, right? So this quote is more so talking about, when it says to get even, it's talking about evening the playing field, making sure that we come in just as ready as our opponent, or making sure that we come in well prepared for what it is that we are taking on. Because life, as we know it, it can be very aggressive at times, right? And so many people are unequipped to handle the blows that it throws at them. So it's important that we begin to train ourselves, before the war. We have to train ourselves for the battles before they come. Defensive tactics, they are literally forms of protection, as well as strategies against defeat, right? We know that tests and trials are going to come. This is something that we know. That's not a secret, right? That's not something that we don't expect. We know that there's going to be opposition on every side. We know that every level we get to is going to bring its own different challenges along the way. We are also aware that there are going to be attacks of our enemies that come to us, right? And I'm not just talking about spiritual, I'm talking about enemies in the natural as well as enemies in the spirit realm, right? So with that in mind, knowing that, the odds are against us, knowing that the deck is normally stacked against us, how do we train ourselves to beat those odds? We do it by exactly what I'm talking about in this quote. We do it by evening the playing field. We do it by making sure that we are ready. Even in the Bible, it tells us that in times of peace, to do what? It tells us to study war. It don't tell us that in times of peace, oh, just act like this is how it's going to be forever and nothing of opposition is ever going to come our way. Once we got peace, that is just it. No, it says in times of peace to study war. And I believe that it is telling us that because tests and trials are going to come, right? So if we train for those things now, we are better able to deal with them when it come our way. And something that, my mom always told me, and I will hold on to these words forever, is she would tell me that no matter what it looks like, right? You want to always make sure that you hope for the best, but you prepare for the worst, because when the worst come, when that unexpected blow come, that's usually the hit, right? That lands the knockout. That's usually, if you notice, if you love watching boxing, like I love watching boxing, you'll know that anytime, there's a knockout that takes place, it's normally because the other person gets hit with an unexpected blow. Like, yo, I didn't see that hook coming. I didn't see that jab, I didn't see that coming. So that's normally what lands the knockout, right? So we want to stop that from happening to us. We don't want that unexpected blow to take us out. So what I want y'all to understand is that active training is now in session, right? This is what we're doing. And I'm talking about mentally, physically, as well as spiritually, so that we are well prepared for even the sneak attacks. I remember when I was growing up and, it would be fights in school. It was always bad, bad blood when someone got snubbed. It's like, no, that wasn't even fair. And that is the battles that we have been facing in life, the ones that aren't fair. And they aren't fair because they're sneaking up on us. So I want to change that. I want to make sure that in times of peace, we are studying war so that those sneak attacks doesn't have the ability to land a knockout in our lives, because we have prepared ourselves for them. And I talk about in this book, right? I talk about, putting on the full armor of God. That's what I talk about in this particular devotion day, putting on the full armor of God, because what that protection does for us is it covers us from head to toe. So what I do is I go over, all 6 pieces of the armor. I talk about the helmet and the breastplate. I talk about the sword and the shield. I talk about the belt and the shoes and, what they represent and, all that they protect. So the reason being is because I want to make sure that we are fully covered, right? If that's afforded to us, then why not use it? We pray all the time about, God being a hedge of protection around us and covering us. And God is like, I gave you this armor that you still have neglected to even put on. So I made sure that I list those pieces of the armor in there. And I want you guys to, when you read that I want you to read it twice, maybe even read it 3 times, because I want to make sure that you are fully covered, especially when, God has given us this armor for our own protection. All right, guys. So I know, that it's a lot, but it's real and it's necessary. So I want to make sure that we all have what we need to continue, forward in life, and that we are not just, going out there and just getting beat up, like smacked all around by everything that life throws our way. And that's what this whole, book is about. It's about taking charge and putting a demand on your day. And that means that you have to make sure that you are covered. So we're going to move forward and we're going to take a look at day 19's quote. So pull your books back out and let's turn to day 19 so we can read that quote together. Day 19 quote reads, access denied just means that you are knocking at the wrong door. Access denied just means that you are knocking at the wrong door. Can we all just just take a minute to collectively agree to stop allowing access denied to shut our whole worlds down. Like, why do we do that? Just because you don't fit there, it doesn't mean that you don't fit anywhere. And we trick ourselves, like we allow the thoughts in our heads to make us believe that because someone tells us no, or because we haven't been invited, or because we didn't get the job, because they didn't befriend us, because this person, doesn't support you, because the list goes on and on, right? And what we do is we justify our reasons for quitting, or our reasons for not trying, or we justify it by those things, because this happened, because that happened, because. So we justify our oppression, and we justify our depression. Like, you don't know what they did to me. You don't know what I've been through. And I get it, but that's not the end. You're still here. You're still living. There is still a tomorrow. So don't justify your bad habit, or your misbehavior, or, like I said, your depression, or your oppression, or your missed opportunities. Stop justifying them with because this happened, or because that happened, or because this person said no, and all of those things, right? Stop justifying where your life is right now based off of what somebody else said, or what somebody else did, or someone else's rejection of you. When will we ever learn, right, that man's approval does not dictate to our exuberance? That's something that I actually talk about in this book. When will we stop letting man's approval dictate to us in that way? Don't allow people to place a value on your life. You have to really convince yourself of the truth, which is that you are priceless. You are priceless. Their no does not eliminate somebody else's yes. It doesn't. Just because they said no, that doesn't mean that that's the end. They're not the only person in this world. They're not the only opportunity that you will ever come across. No, their no, it doesn't stop somebody else from saying yes. You may not fit there, but trust me, you fit somewhere in this gigantic world that we live in, this huge, massive world. We are this small. And I'm not saying, literally you're a small person, but I'm just saying that we are a small piece to the bigger puzzle. And I need you to understand that that person that told you no, they're a small piece to a bigger puzzle. So don't let their no stop you from understanding that there is a yes that awaits you somewhere else, right? Talking about this, and you just being a piece in a puzzle, it makes me think about when my kids, they had bought a 1,000-piece puzzle, right? They bought it over the summer because they wanted something that that was fun, that they could all do together, and something that can take up some of their time, especially with being in the house. They didn't want to just be sitting around doing nothing. So they bought this 1,000-piece puzzle. And I remember them opening the box and looking at all of these different shapes and sizes, tiny little puzzle pieces that this box was full of, right? And so I watched them as they worked, and I'm telling you, they worked day after day, putting this puzzle together. And all along the way, they would, attempt to put pieces in certain places because it looked like it may fit there. Like it kind of had all the same colors as all of the other pieces in that area. So it looked like it go there. But the closer that they got to the space, they will realize that there was something unique about each alarm. Sorry, guys. They would notice that there was something unique, right, about every single piece that stopped it from fitting inside of every single space. But what I want, what I'm trying to show you all in this analogy is that even, when they came across those pieces that didn't fit in the spaces that they initially thought, they didn't just discard the piece as nothing or as trash or as being irrelevant. But some of us do that. We do that when we don't fit in certain spaces, or we don't fit with a certain group of people, or like I said, somebody told you no, or somebody didn't befriend you, or whatever the case. We find out that we don't fit in. We feel like trash. We feel like we don't belong. We feel irrelevant. We feel less than. But what I want y'all to see is that my kids didn't discard those pieces as trash or irrelevant, right? Because they understood that although it didn't go there, that it would be not only just wanted, right? It would be needed somewhere else later. I need somebody to, really get this revelation, because God has uniquely designed you to fit perfectly somewhere, right? And the perfect picture will never be complete without you. Your piece is not only just wanted in this world, but it is needed. Have my kids let's say they tried to force the pieces, right? What would have happened? Those pieces would have ended up breaking. I don't know if you ever tried that when you were younger, but I did. I tried to force pieces into places that they didn't fit, and it would just bend up and eventually end up breaking the pieces. And that's the reason that many of you are broken today, because you have been trying to fit yourself by all means into spaces that you obviously do not fit into. Guys, listen, access denied doesn't mean, right? It doesn't mean that you need to give up, nor does it mean that you need to change or alter yourself in order to be accepted. Understand that their acceptance of you means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. But God's design of you, that means everything. Everything. So stop discounting yourself. Stop trying to change yourself. Find the space that awaits you, right? There's a space out there that awaits you, and that space is waiting to embrace you. Like, access denied, like the quote said, it just means that you are knocking at the wrong door. And something else that I talk about in a book is actually, what the Bible says about the door, right? And how you enter. And I don't want to talk too much about that, because I want to make sure that you guys actually read the book for yourselves, like read what's in there. I want to make sure that, even the ones of you that's watching that don't have the book, I want to make sure that you go get it, because it's some good stuff in here that we don't go over in, these book reviews each week, that you need to make sure that you get that pertinent information, because it will change your life, right? So I want y'all to, go get the book so you can know what it has to say about all of those things that I didn't even mention in this book review. So with that is a wrap, guys. We are going to conclude this week's book review with that. I pray that it benefited you in some way. And if so, guys, don't hesitate to come back and to join us next week, right? As we get into the next devotion, because for me, it just gets better and better. I don't know about you, but for me, it gets better and better each and every week, right? And I'm doing it so that it can fuel you, right? Fuel you throughout your week and keep you on fire, keep you ready, keep you on go. That's what we need. We need something to, just give us that energy to keep us going. It's so many things that we got that's draining us and taken from us. So my job is to make sure that I'm giving something that can add to you, right? So, I also encourage you to spread the word if you got something from it. Recommend the book, to other people and get them involved in all that we're doing here to, motivate and inspire and to transform lives week after week, right? Also, if you have something positive and informative and on topic with the discussion, I invite you to feel free to engage in the comment section. Let us hear your voice. Let us hear what you have to say regarding some of these topics. If you would like to further connect with me, you can leave me a message on my website, right? And join the Boss Movement. Also, you can order your very own copy of the And I Quote 31-day devotional from my website as well. You just go to www.crystalmetellus.com. I'm gonna make sure that I also have that link for you in the description box as well. So guys, again, I hope this bless you. This devotion, guys, it is life-changing, right? But you have to make it applicable to your life. Any of you who would like to also go to Amazon to purchase your book, you can do that as well, just by typing in And I Quote or by typing in my name, Crystal Metellus, and it will come right up. But guys, I'm going to say bye. I have to go now. So until next time, I want you to remember to boss up, take charge, and put a demand on your day. See you later, guys. Bye.